In May 1962, the movie begins on board the Italian ocean liner Antonia Graza. Several affluent travelers dance in the ship's lavish ballroom as a stunning Italian woman sings "Senza fine." At a separate area from the party, a gloved hand flicks a switch that releases a thin wire cord from a covert spool. The wire suddenly cracks, slicing across the deck, dance floor, like a blade and severing the dancers in half. A few of them hang on for a few seconds, before realizing they'd been split in half. Due to her diminutive size and the captain standing over her when he saw the wire crack, only young Katie, who was dancing with a ship's officer, the captain, was spared. She glances up at the officer's face after learning what happened to the other dancers. His face breaks wide at the mouth and the top of his head drops off as he turns to face her with a pitiful expression. The scene then transitions to the current day as Katie cries and the ship's exterior is seen from below in great detail. In the wide seas, a sinking ship has been rescued by a salvage team. They pull the ship into port and pay the government for its salvage value. A Canadian Air Force pilot named Jack Ferryman approaches them as they are in a pub celebrating their victory and informs them that he has seen a weird ship drifting aimlessly in the Bering Sea. The ship can be claimed by whoever can get it to a port because it is in international waters. The crew of the small tugboat Arctic Warrior soon left port. They discover the Antonia Graza, an Italian luxury liner that vanished in May 1962 and was thought to be lost at sea, while examining the abandoned ship. At the time, the disappearance of the ocean liner was widely reported. Strange things start to happen as they board the ship and get ready to tow it to land. While attempting to save a crewmate from going through the floor, Maureen Epps claims to have seen a young girl on the stairway. Greer claimed to have heard a mysterious singer singing in several locations throughout the ship. The bodies of another team of salvagers are found by Epps and ferrymen in the ship's laundry area. The crew makes the decision to abandon the ship, but they take the significant amount of gold they discover on board. Santos, who was attempting to restore the boat, is killed when their tugboat explodes due to a propane tank that unexpectedly opens as the engine is started, leaving them stuck aboard the ghost ship in the Bering Sea. More and more crew members are slain as they decide to attempt to repair the Antonia Graza and sail it back to land while learning more sinister mysteries about the ship, such as bullet holes in the pool and a skeleton hanging by a noose in a wardrobe. A young girl named Katie, who Maureen Epps first saw dancing with the captain at the opening of the film, tells her a startling secret. The crew turned on the passengers and one another in an effort to get their hands on the gold ship they were carrying. It is revealed that Katie, who was on her route to New York to be with her parents, is the skeleton hanging from the rope. As Katie briefly transports Maureen into the past, Epps is able to understand what transpired. The crew started poisoning the evening's food with rodenticide while the countless dancers were being sliced by the wire in the kitchen. When the food was delivered, it was clear that people were starting to die from the poison because their mouths were foaming over. Once it becomes clear that the skeleton Epps discovered earlier was Katie, the crew started killing the other passengers, including Katie. Many passengers were lined up around the pool and shot by the bloodthirsty crew, accounting for the shell casings and bullet holes. One crew member, an officer, emerges from the little container containing the valuables as the crew starts to remove the gold. He turns around and ruthlessly murders his fellow crew members with a submachine pistol out of avarice after taking one look at Francesca, the ship's seductive ballroom vocalist, who is also standing there wearing a glittering red satin strapless ball gown. Shoots him in the head. Finally, a man approaches Francesca, and the two of them embrace them. The singer witnesses a big hook swing into her face as he walks away, killing her. After leaving a mark on her palm, the attacker, an evil ghost named Jack Ferryman, is revealed to have been the man. Epps decides to blow up the ship after having this epiphany, but Ferryman, who has already dispatched the last of Epps' crew, stops him. He says the obvious: he has lured many souls to his masters using the gold as bait. He has been doing this for a long time and calls himself a salvager of souls. He only directed the salvagers there to make repairs. After a brief struggle, Epps is able to blow up the ship, effectively killing ferrymen. As the trapped souls on the ship ascend to paradise, Katie stops to thank her before being abandoned amid the wreckage. A big cruise ship finds Epps and transports him back to shore. In the final scene, Epps is seen at the docks riding in the back of an ambulance. From her stretcher, she observes the beaten-up crates of gold being hauled on board the cruise liner by her former crew members, who were joined shortly after by ferrymen. Her screams are muffled as the ambulance doors close and the end credits fade in, and he gives her a look before continuing.